Hi, I'm Pami Woodruff of the schooloflostarts.com and makeitwithpam.com, and today we're taking this and doing the stitching that we need to make this. For our pillows we will making, one edge will show on the back, so it's a good idea to hem this edge to make it nice and neat. As you're looking at your fabric, your selvage edge may appear a different color as this side, or it may pretty much be the same color here. But as you look at the inside, you will see that it is woven differently. There's more of a ridge effect right along the edges here. Now you could leave that on one side, but it will make a better hem if you cut that off. At the very least though, you need to fold it back and stitch along that edge to make a nice neat edge for your pillow on at least one of your short ends. I'll show you how to do that now. First, carefully cut along the edge of the selvage. You might find this easy to do from the front if there's a color change, or it might be easier to do from the back where you can see the texture changes from smooth to ridged. And here we are with both selvages cut off of the short end of our rectangle of fabric. If you have an iron and an ironing board, the next step is easy. But if you don't, you can also iron with an ordinary spoon. I'll show you how in just a moment. First, iron the edge of your fabric so that it is completely flat. In this case, my iron has spilled water, and that's what's on the fabric. It'll evaporate. It's no big deal. Next, fold up 1/2 inch. If you have a stripe on your ironing board or on your fabric, you may follow that. Just pull that up and then press that into place. If you have a 100% cotton fabric, you can use the cotton setting and steam. If you have a polyester content in your fabric, you might not want to use steam. And being careful that you don't burn yourself on the very, very hot fabric, we're going to fold the edge in so that the cut edge touches the inner edge that we just pressed. And then we press again. And then we have a nice, neat edge pressed back. If you do not have an iron, you can do almost as well with a spoon. Fold back a 1/2 inch, once again following a stripe if you have one, and press hard on the fabric with the bowl of the spoon against a tabletop or countertop, a very sturdy surface. And you'll notice that I get a nice crease here. So we'll press it with the spoon, then tuck the cut in so it matches where the fold is, and then press again. And so here we have a neatly ironed or spoon ironed up piece of fabric. As you can see, it is double folded, and so no raw edges will be showing. We will sew along this from the right side so that we have a nice, neat finish. When you get out your thread, you'll notice there's a small notch that the thread is fastened into. Sometimes the tip is covered underneath the sticker on the end. There are also kinds of thread spools that have a indentation around the bottom of the spool that catches the end. Wherever your thread end is, you can find that and pull off a section to sew with. Here is one of the spools that has the catch down at the bottom. So just simply unwind it from there. When you are done, you wind it back. Easy. If you are hand sewing, we will do the back stitch from the front, so that on the front you only have one stitch showing. One layer of stitches showing, that is. If you need a refresher on how to do the back stitch, please refer to the previous videos where I showed this stitch in great detail. You want to be making this stitch evenly from the edge, just whatever looks good to your eye. I'm going to use this sewing machine to show you how to sew the seam by machine. First step, wind a fresh bobbin. Now I realize your machine, if you have one, is probably a lot newer than this one, but we still always start with winding a bobbin of thread. Okay, so now we're going to sew down this section that we just folded up. Now I'm using this very old machine because it's nice and quiet. You can hear me talk. But all machines are basically the same. You start with the needle in the furthest most up position, you hold the thread tails, you put the fabric under the foot, and then you start the motor. In this case, I'm the motor. And once you've gotten the first few stitches, you can let go and just let the machine feed the fabric on through. So it's nice and quick, nice and easy. If you're sewing on a much thicker fabric than you had been sewing on previously, you may need to make a few adjustments to your machine, but most of the machines now, as you switch from thin fabric to fairly thick fabric, they automatically adjust for those thicknesses, and the tension comes out just fine. Interestingly enough, these old antique machines do the very same thing. And this one here is close to 100 years old. Then at the end, you raise the foot and take out the fabric. Cut the threads. So here we have some nice neat stitching close to the edge of the fold. Perfect. So now we have neatly hemmed our fabric. You still have a very long piece, and you're saying, Pammy, how do I put this together so that it fits my pillow form? Well, that's what's up next.